Good afternoon, Year 12 Ancient Historians. I hope this finds you well. I hope the Easter Bunny found you and you've managed to polish off some chocolate and you've had a bit of a spell. And I hope that yourself and your family are doing well in this rather testing time. Okay, so what I want to do just with this session today is just bring stuff together and let you know what's happening with the course for this term and leading into our Term 3 studies of our external exam topic. So by now you'd be aware that the internal summative assessment has finished. So we've done our two pieces that have been mandated by the QCAA, and so your assessment this term and your assessment in Term 3 will be formative in nature. Okay, they're going to take the form of a short response to stimulus exam in Term 2. But I'm going to break that task down across 4 different periods to avoid you having to do a full-blown 2-hour exam at the end of the term, probably at the end of a term when you're going to be looking forward to the holidays after some pretty stressful times. Just a word about that though, even though this is formative assessment, the results will still count towards your reports. So reports you receive at the end of Term 2 and Term 3 will reflect your performance in those formative tasks. They will continue to contribute and determine things like academic achievement certificates or academic improvement certificates, and also the subject ducks. And so that's the same for all of the subjects. So what we're going to continue working on then is we're going to continue to look at the breakdown of the Republic, but we're going to focus specifically on the reign of Julius Caesar. So the work that we did last term is still relevant to what we're doing this term. It isn't wasted work, it isn't pointless work. You'll use those terms and concepts in evaluating the reign of Julius Caesar and then looking at how his son and heir, Augustus, took advantage of those things, but also learnt the lessons of his adopted father. All right, so that's essentially the broad picture of where we're going. Now, just some mundane admin matters. Just with the work that I'm setting week to week, can you please complete that in the relevant section of your OneNote so I can monitor your progress and give feedback? Now, I still encourage you to work in your notebooks because I think you really need to practice handwriting material for extended periods of time to build up your condition, I guess, for that external exam and being able to and having to write for 2 hours at a time. So what you can do there is just take a photo of the work as you complete it and just pop the photo up into your OneNote in the relevant section there, so I can have a little look to see what's going on. If I can't find it, I will just assume that you haven't done it, and we just run through the procedures that we'll have to run through for that for people that aren't following through on those commitments. Okay, that's not going to be a problem for you guys because, as ever, we're going to work on quality, not quantity, and everything that we're doing is tailoring us and getting us to practice the things that we're going to need moving forward. Okay, so that shouldn't be an issue for you guys. The next thing, just to remind you, just please make sure that you're asking questions through the chat feed in our Teams site. And the reason for that is that it centralises everything. We can refer back to those questions later on if they arise again. And it's also going to help other people that if you're thinking it, someone else will probably be thinking it too. So please make sure that you're making use of that avenue of inquiry. If you need to discuss more personal issues, so it could be, that you're sick, that someone in the family's sick and that you're having to look after them or something like that, you can email me and we can sort out what's going on there. If I know what's happening, I can look at ways in which I can try to help. All right. The other thing that goes with those is just please acknowledge the communication when I send it so that I know that you've read it. So that's just the thumbs up or a smiley face or whatever it may be in the chat feed, or if I've sent you an email that there's a response, an appropriate response there in the email. the next thing I just want to advertise is the live session once a week that will be starting from next week. I'm considering that a compulsory session simply so we can touch base. And I'm aiming for it to be a little bit more less shambolic than what we did in week 10 last term. But that will be on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. So you'll be asked to join the conversation when I open it up. We'll have a bit of a chat for 10 or 15 minutes. There'll be some opportunity there for you to ask some questions and see how things tie in together there. So that will be as long as it takes. So it could be 20 minutes, it could be half an hour. That's fine. If there's questions there or discussions to be had, we can go from there. But they're a really important session. Just I'll be using that to tie things together for you, so that I'm just making sure that you're staying on track with the direction that I want you to in terms of the unit and how it pans out. Okay. All right. So finally, look, online learning is different. It's very different to being in a classroom. I've been a teacher for 25 years now, and this is completely new to me. So it's new to both of us. And I acknowledge that, and I acknowledge that there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding life in general at the moment. But this is a really valuable opportunity that we can have to sort of spend some focused time on some skills work, just in a different format. It's not designed to replace a normal classroom lesson where we'll have discussions. There'll be group work is easier and all of those sorts of things. Online learning won't give you that sort of thing. If you're looking at a tertiary experience beyond school, be it a university or a TAFE or things like that, online learning is a component part of those courses. Okay, so it's going to give you a little bit broader life experience in managing your time there. And that's probably a key thing, is that you need to be organised and you need to persist and continue applying yourself. But most importantly, you've got to communicate, all right? If you don't know what's going on, if you're lost, if you haven't got resources, you can't find things, you must ask me for help. And you know that's always the case. If you need the help, guys, I'm very, very happy to give you that time, all right? Okay, we'll hold that up there. Hopefully today's Teams issue and syncing issues and those sorts of things will become a thing of the past after today. I have emailed you the PDF of the work for this week, and we shall discuss that and link that to what we've done in our catch up next week. Okay, rightio. Thanks a lot for that, folks. Be well, and we'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye now.